host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Well, apparently there's other teams too interested in Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert now. I mean, we're talking a few maybe years ago. Well, maybe, but I seen this article. There was a couple different articles talking about the Giants because the Giants. With Dulcich and Manhurts and Bellinger, it's like I'm not dancing around singing Kumbaya. I'm not feeling all warm and fuzzy about the tight end situation. I mean, I'm kind of, hey, let's hope Theo Johnson takes off, right? Let's hope he can stay healthy, right? But, that's one of the positions the Giants, could use to upgrade at. But apparently the Eagles may be thinking about trading away Dallas Goedert. Now, also talking about in this article, or I think I got two articles here, is that the compensation that the Eagles will get in return for a draft pick or so, well, that doesn't maybe necessarily have to be this year. And that's one nice thing. The Eagles can stockpile picks maybe for next season. That's what happens when you're the Eagles and you're that good. You don't need the draft picks this year. But we got, let's see here. Eagles news. Giants reportedly among teams to show interest in Dallas Goedert trade. Yeah. See, the thing is also is that you figure, maybe the Giants learned from Darren Waller. Maybe, right? About trading for a often injured tight end. Where are we at here? Dallas Goedert remains a name to watch on the trade market as the draft approaches. Interested teams believe Philadelphia would be open to future picks if they don't receive 2025 draft capital. Goddard is in the final year of his deal and could be looking, it's going to pop up to a new, looking for a new contract as well. Well, yeah, absolutely. I don't blame him. Let's see here. Thoughts on the Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert's trade value. They're using the Darren Waller trade as a benchmark. That's a reasonable ask. However, teams around the league mostly aren't as dumb as the Giants. Can't argue with that, right? My guess, compensation will land somewhere around the same ballpark as the Cardinals' 2021 trade for Zach Ertz. It was also 30 at the time, by the way, which was a fifth-round pick and a throw-in player. I guess they throw in cornerback Tay Gowan. Will the Eagles draft Dallas Goedert's replacement next week? Well, that's possible. But let's see. Got another article here. The Eagles reportedly could be open to future NFL draft picks in Dallas Goedert trade talk. The Eagles have had a relatively quiet offseason following the Super Bowl victory, at least compared to the massive moves they made a year ago. A splash could be coming at the NFL draft, however. According to Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports, Dallas Goedert remains a name to watch on the trade market as the draft approaches. Interested teams believe Philadelphia would be open to future picks if they don't receive a 2025 pick. The buzz surrounding the possibility of a Goedert trade has been circulating for some time now. Now, we got here. There are league sources who believe the Eagles are holding out hope for at least a fourth-round pick for Dallas Goedert in a potential trade. Even if said pick was from a later years, like 26 or possibly 27. Wow. However, a lower pick and more of a salary adjustment is needed for some teams. There would certainly be some pros and cons to moving on from Goedert. The pros are that he's a 30-year-old tight end with a history of injuries entering the final year of his deal. And the Giants, we just went through this with Darren Waller. He only played one season for us, and he cost us the third. He only played 12 games, and he cost us the third-round selection. Man, just think about, right, the good draft class that, right? I mean, we got Phillips in the third round last year. Imagine we had another third-round pick last season, but we gave that up, right, for Waller, right? So, I mean, I've seen this. It's just something good to read, or talk about and all of that, but I can't see the Giants trading draft capital for an often injured tight end. See, he's missed 15 games in the past 3 seasons, which is oddly enough, if you want to average that out, 15 games past 3 seasons, 5 games a season. How many games did Darren Waller miss for us? 5 games, right? Then Waller retired. To become this will come full circle in a little bit here, I promise. Become a rap, right? So we're going to be talking a little bit more about somebody who just retired to become a rapper in a little bit. Hint, hint. Let's see. And obviously missing his time, which is a concern as he enters the later years of his career. And also another thing too is that the one thing the Eagles have had, they must have 4-leaf clovers shoved up their bungholes because they're one of the luckiest teams in football. Good for them. But as far as injuries, I don't know why. Maybe because they play totally on grass. I don't know. But they're very least injured team. The last time they went to the Super Bowl when they lost to the Chiefs, they were hardly injured at all. Last season, they didn't have a lot of injuries. So you got a guy somehow on a team that doesn't get injured who gets injured. So what's he going to do if he comes to the Giants? Right. The kind is that Goddard remains productive when healthy. Right? Tall guy. I mean, he was an extremely important playmaker for the Eagles in their postseason run, catching 17 passes for 215 yards and a touchdown in 4 playoff games. He's also a very good blocker alongside being a solid weapon in the passing game. But the Eagles have had to make some tough financial decisions this offseason to maintain a healthy salary cap going forward, letting players like defensive tackle Milton Williams, defensive ends Josh Sweat, and guard Mekhi Becton, among others, walk in free agency. They also released veteran cornerback Darius Slay Jr. The Eagles had to do so in part because they were a team that made major financial commitments to running back Saquon Barkley and off-ball linebacker Zach Bond. So they have the Eagles have some financial decisions to come make. I can't remember. I mean, I'm sure they'll wind up doing something with the numbers and this, that, and the other thing, because that's what Howie Roseman does. He all pushes money down the road. One of the reasons why the Eagles have such a good team, they can't afford their players, so they have like 6 or 7 or 8 guys that have like all void years on the end of their contract because they can't afford to pay them. They just push all the money down the road. Well, I think it's 2028, somewhere around there. As of right now, they owe Jalen Hurts about $97.5 million. That's a lot of money. Because once again, they can't afford to pay him. It's all pushed down the road, right? So they have some commitments coming up. I said that's going to be one of them. So I mean, trying to maybe get rid of Dallas Goedert, and maybe the beautiful thing about what the Eagles are, right, is that they only have 1 or 2 or 3 whatever holes, right? So they can, it's like, well, we need this, and we need 3 people, right? So in the first round, we'll get this guy. In the second round, we'll get this guy. In the third round, now we don't have any holes. And then the rest of the draft, we'll maybe get some depth. maybe some better depth or something or whatever. But I mean, that's the one I think with the Eagles, right? I mean, they can let a few guys go. They have a few holes and they fill them up with their first few rounds or whatever. It's not with the Giants. The Giants, well, we have 37 holes. We have 5 draft picks. So, we still have 30 holes after, unfortunately, that's the way the Giants are. But the Eagles are in a very good position. The Eagles also have, the capability, too, of, taking a guy, say, in the first round, even if he's not going to maybe necessarily be a starter right away. But it's like, well, one of our defensive linemen is going to retire or something like that in a year or two or whatever. So let's get his replacement now, right? So when he's gone, this guy can just step in and take his place, So the Eagles are in a very, very good position, right, drafting. So, but, I mean, as far as this Dallas Goedert thing, I can't, I just, sure, somebody going to trade for him? No, maybe. It would be the Giants. I don't know. I think they would learn their lesson from the Darren Waller thing. I mean, Darren Waller, when healthy, was pretty good. He was a nice weapon, but he came here, 12 games, cost us a third-round selection. I can't see the Giants dishing out money to Dallas Goedert, who's missed a bunch of time over the past 3 years, giving out a 4th or 5th-round pick. And also the thing is, too, is that, it's not only so much that, but it's not like the guy is still on his rookie deal or something where he's only owing $2 million a season or something. No, I mean, if we trade for him, this would be his last season. And I mean, if you trade for a guy, right, you trade a 4th to 5th round pick and then you let him walk away the next season without resigning him, what'd you do that for? So you're almost backing yourself into the corner, right? If you trade a draft pick for a guy in his final season of his contract, you're almost like, really pressured to re-sign the guy. And the guy's not going to sign for $2-3 million, The Giants do need to upgrade their tight end position, but we can go about it, I'm sure, different ways. And it doesn't necessarily. We got a lot of holes. It doesn't have to be this year, but I would certainly like to see the Giants, as I said, because right now with Dulcich, I'm sure we might have a couple other guys maybe on the practice squad or something, but Dulcich, Manhurts, and Bellinger, I'm not feeling all warm and fuzzy. A few years ago with Bellinger, I'm like, this guy might be all right, okay, but I don't know. I mean, it was Bellinger bicep a couple years ago. I mean, he had his cutoff shirt on, his bicep, like an 87-inch bicep. I'm like, damn, look at this guy. He's going to be picking guys up and just throwing them out of the way. Nope. Don't know what's going on there. So, tight ends are definitely a position the Giants need to upgrade. That's for sure. But it doesn't have to be this year.